Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Barel. I'm outside. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually cold. But I'm outside in my facility where we're going to be working on a lot of cool projects, where I'm going to be doing a lot of giveaway for y'all. So I'm working on tons of things. So anyways, I saw Rise of Skywalker, the new Star Wars movie. And you guys know I'm not going to give any spoilers in this one. I am going to do one with spoilers, and I'm going to further explain things more in detail, but I'm not going to do that till later on because I want most of the people to see it. Now, I am going to tell you guys something when before we get into this. Before I see a movie, especially something as big as, let's say, Star Wars, Transformers when it was, before I knew what to expect, I don't like watching trailers. I don't like watching commercials, because I don't want it to give away anything. So I went in there, into this movie, expecting Disney poop. As you guys know, I am not a fan at all of this trilogy, at all. And I went in there expecting the worst of the worst, especially after the second one, which was just crazy. And I'm going to explain that as we go right into it. So let's get right into it. Okay guys, so first off, I want to make sure that you guys understand this, especially to the newcomers on this site. This channel is nothing but the truth. So, but when it comes to movies, you got people who are fans of even things you might not be a fan of. I was always a fan of the Star Wars series, and I am giving you, in this situation, it's not like we're doing technology reviews or, video game reviews and stuff like that. In this situation, I'm giving you guys my take on it. Okay, so if I offend anyone or whatever, don't, let me know in the comments below what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. But right now, what I'm going to talk about is, how I went into this movie, what happened afterwards. I'm not talking about any spoilers here, because I want you guys to see it. And yeah, I do recommend people see it. I'm going to give you guys my take on the whole thing, exactly what I thought of it. So first off, like I said, after the first two movies, the first one, Force Awakens, was like, okay, I do think they picked even though I like Adam Driver, he is not the actor to play Kylo Ren. I still stand by that. I think they could have chose so many other great actors to play as him. He was just not a Kylo Ren. Also, the way they marketed Kylo Ren, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm a big fan of the Knights of Ren. You guys know that from my 3D print work, from all of the stuff that I do. I was always a fan of the entire Knights of Ren, and I loved Kylo Ren and couldn't wait for him to, not Disney, but for them to do a movie. And I'm still waiting for this movie. If not, I swear I'm going to do it. And I have a lot of friends of mine that want to go into it with me. So we might do a Knights of Ren movie, or my favorite overall character, Starkiller, a movie about him. So we might do a movie about that, fan film, if Disney doesn't sue us. I guess it's going to be way better than most of the poop that they, pull out there. I wasn't a fan at all of what they did with Kylo Ren. Like I said, I called him Krylo Ren in my early reviews. Some of you guys found that humorous. Some of you guys were offended. You didn't like it that I said that. But it's the truth. I don't like what they did with him. I thought they really ruined this character. And I was praying to God they wouldn't bring the Knights of Ren into a certain disaster, which they unfortunately did throughout the movies. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not giving away any spoilers, but that you pretty much could see in the, trailers and all that stuff. The thing is, they really murdered that character. They destroyed him and made it a Disney version, Disney poop version of what could, and completely killed the entire thing for me. The thing is, I understand why people might like the original. Those who do, the few that do, that like that are my age or a little bit younger than me, in their 30s, or even people in their late 20s, a lot of them do not like this trilogy at all. Those that are Below that, they're not part of the original, they were, even some of them didn't like it, but they weren't part of the original, they didn't live through the original releases to see what a good Star Wars movie is. Now, some people are going to give George Lucas a massive amount of credit and say, when George Lucas did it, the original 3 was awesome. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. George Lucas couldn't put out a good movie. The producers, all of the people behind it, they were the ones that shaped the original trilogy into what it was. It wasn't George Lucas's total vision. In fact, he gave up on it before going into the prequels. He didn't want to do another Star Wars movie. He was working with, miniatures and all that, and that was great. The point is, they had other people's take that made that movie what it was. It wasn't a George Lucas vision per se. So George Lucas shouldn't be getting any of the credit on that end. He should be getting the credit for the, for the stories and all that stuff that he put and whatever, but it wasn't totally his vision. There was a lot of work that went into it from the actual, organization that made the original trilogy what it was. The prequels failed horribly. Of course, I loved Darth Maul. I thought, Phantom Menace was okay. I didn't like the prequels either, but this trilogy made the prequels really shine. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with Jar Jar, putting in Jar Jar. It was one of the worst, Star Wars movies I could have ever seen, and that's a person who reads up on, read up on the stories, read up on that, watched the originals, lived through the entire, glare of Star Wars. I don't know what the right word is to use here. And basically what happened was, it wasn't good. They made, Anakin Skywalker a crybaby. Even the actors complained about this movie, which shocks me why some people still like it. I guess after this trilogy, they will like it a lot. But, the character they, that played as Anakin is actually a good actor, and his entire film career was ruined because he was told to stick to a script. He even spoke about this in detail. How, Hamill even gave secret codes in every interview. You could see the rundown of them, like how bad this trilogy was. But I'm going to say Force Awakens was like, whatever. They murdered Kylo Ren, made him Kylo Ren. Second one was Disney trying to push an agenda, and I'm not going to talk too much about it because I had videos taken down before from it. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to say you guys know exactly what they're pushing, what Disney tried to push. And I don't mind when somebody, especially when a visionary, or like, let's say a director is a person who tells a story. I've directed a lot of films, and obviously I wasn't there, I wasn't doing it to make it big. I was doing it just out of passion. It's like film or like art. And a director is a storyteller. And like I said, I'm not giving you guys any spoilers here, but is a storyteller. And you know what? If Disney took over and they want to tell a story, that's totally fine. But the best work you can do as a director, if you want to even push an agenda, is to not make it so damn freaking evident. Because when you make it so evident, you're taking away from the story. And that's exactly, it's like when you do, they say, I remember when I was doing visual effects and I was, studying it on my own and doing visual effects and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. I remember one of my friends who now actually worked on the Star Wars series, and he works on a lot of also Michael Bay films right now, doing titling and little effects and stuff here and there, helping out. He told me, he said, this old dude and completely old school, and I love what he told me. He said, if you do a bad effect, you might as well just take it out of the script and just don't do it, because that little one bad effect is going to be what the audience focuses on, and it's going to ruin the whole damn story. But in this situation, what they did was, with the second one, is they were pushing such an agenda that the main focus was to push that agenda, that they totally forgot about the story. It wasn't even about making an agenda with a good story and then the audience are focused on the stupid agenda and saying this is poop. No, the whole damn thing was poop. It was garbage every way, however you can slice it. And now we're getting into the last, the Rise of Skywalker. So I'm going to say this. Okay, I went in there expecting Disney crap. Like I said, I'm not giving any spoilers, so this you could definitely see. And my next one, I'm going to give one with spoilers to further explain what I'm saying. So hopefully you could hold judgment till then, those of you that do like it. I was actually wowed a little bit, disappointed a bit, and the movie felt sort of like an empty shell, like somebody went down. Okay, you could clearly see that now J.J. Abrams was given creative freedom, because you're starting to see the flares, the light flares and stuff. That's classic J.J. and Michael Bay. They use anamorphic lenses, and you could tell that wasn't very evident in a lot of films you see when they don't have creative freedom. You could literally see it, because you'll see that their art style, their film style is not there. Now you could clearly see that they gave J.J. Abrams creative freedom. And I am going to say this. I went in, like I said, I went in there expecting crap. I was a little bit wowed, but it looked like somebody went in there and said, okay, Kennedy's a moron. From now on, we're going to give creative freedom to J.J. Abrams. And we're going to take out an entire, kind of like a clipboard with a checklist. And, we're going to go over what the fans said and try to fix it, because we're going to need people to come and see this movie. This is the final one. We got this whole theme park in Disney World about it, Galaxy's Edge, and they're planning to do some hotel or something like that if they didn't do it already, which started in California and came, of course, to Florida. Which I plan to do one day, a visit there, and do probably for y'all an entire rundown. But what happened was, it's like they went in with a checklist. There wasn't that much to the story. That's all I'm going to say. It was definitely the best of the three. It is not the best Star Wars movie. It is not the best movie. It is just the best of the three. It kind of felt like Disney was trying to rectify the poop job that they did in the first two. I'm going to say the second one especially. They still pushed the agenda, but now they did it in a subtle way. The way they were supposed to do. Not too subtle. They did it a little bit hard, so it's still going to annoy a lot of people, which it did annoy me. And maybe because I was looking for it, because after the second one, I don't know who the hell won't look for it. And what I realized was that it's like they took a checklist and just said, okay, so the fans complained about that, let's change that. Okay, we changed it. But like they focused more on trying to correct the problem. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is a huge burden on J.J. Abrams. Now, I'm going to tell you why. This is a movie that's viewed by the entire world. Of course, in China, it tanked, because we all know in China they didn't have the original trilogy. So because of that, they never really cared about the Star Wars series at all. So please, guys, don't use that as a fighting thing and say, well, China hated it. Well, it doesn't matter. China hated it because they never had the original three. And if you don't have the original three, that's what really pulled you in. Let's face it, guys, Darth Vader was the best of the best. Everything else kind of sucked. And this is what kind of pissed me off, because this one kind of made him feel like Vader was trash, like he was nothing. And it kind of sucked. It was like so weird how they were trying to downplay it. But it felt more like they were trying to checklist everything and to fix everything. And it's a big burden that J.J. Abrams had, even though he is a sellout, yes, but he's looking out for his career. Let's face it, when you have to put food on the table, I mean, how many of us wouldn't do anything and then think about correcting things for the greater good? And that's what he did. I personally don't sell out. I'm not that type. I rather fall on my face 100 times than selling out. But everybody knows in Hollywood, if you screw with Disney, you're pretty much screwed. But the point is, he went in there and took on a big burden, a burden that is impossible. And for that, as a film director myself, as a filmmaker, I give him a lot of props, because I'm saying I can't believe how close he came to rectifying all the issues of the last two in this poop of a trilogy. He did a great job trying, because think about it. You don't have 2 or 3 movies to try to correct this thing. You're going to have only, 2 hours and a half to correct like 6 hours of poop, basically. Well, 5 hours, but like almost, let's say with deleted scenes and stuff that I'm sure will come out later, it's going to be about probably 6 hours of poop that he had to correct. That's a big, big feat. And he actually did a good job considering the limitations that the constraints that he was put under. I mean, you got to admit that. So if you guys, I do recommend you guys see the movie. I do think it feels like a shell, empty shell. There's things you're going to love about it. There's some, I'm going to say, old school things that you're going to really love about it. That's going to make you be in total awe. And then you're going to have some things that you're going to be extremely disappointed at. Extremely disappointed. I still think the whole thing, you know, how they should have started was in the original movie. They should have made Rey a person without any power, kind of like Skywalker. You know, I even had it in my mind all set like how I would want it to be, where Kylo and her fight in the snow and they're battling it out, and then he just kisses her and throws her on the ground after he defeats her like she's a nobody, and then she trains and trains and trains and eventually kicks his butt. That would have been awesome. But no, she just discovered she has powers and she was kicking butt and taking names. And the second one, her and Krylo were killing, you know, were killing the Imperial Guards, which was so stupid because these guys had the power of like kicking butt and taking names, and they were hacking them down like they were stormtroopers. It made absolutely zero sense. And you know, this one he really tried to correct, and you could tell still Disney had their pull on it because they were still pushing the agenda. And maybe because I was looking for it, but they did push it. But they weren't being subtle about it. But they were more subtle than the second and first part. I'm going to say that. But if you're actually looking for it, you're going to see the agenda playing right out. If they only did that in the second one and in the third one, I'm sure people probably wouldn't have noticed as much. But the reason people are really pissed is because of this agenda that Disney is trying to push. Now, another thing is, the movie itself was not, you know, all the trilogy was not written well. It wasn't done well. And because of that, a lot of people are pissed off about that too. It was not done well. It is not as good, you know, it's not loyal to canon. And I know some people are like, oh, I don't care about canon. Well, then you're not really a Star Wars fan. And yes, if you're going to even see it, and I told my wife and I were having this discussion. I was telling her, I said, even if, let's say, this was a separate movie, it wasn't called Star Wars, it was called something else, it would still be a stupid movie, because the entire trilogy, this trilogy, is extremely dumb because it didn't make any sense. Because this girl, Rey, she discovers she has powers and she's taking down Grand Masters. There's no studying. There's no, I'm going to make you a great Jedi. You're going to need a couple years of training. No, she instantly got it and kicked butt and took names. It was like they pulled it out of Matrix, and I don't know what the hell they did in the second part with Leia was flying in space. And it was so freaking stupid. It was so dumb. Completely like on a mission to belittle men is ridiculous. That was another agenda they were pulling out. There's no reason for that. Leia was a powerhouse. She was strong. She was the Wonder Woman of Star Wars. And you know, to try to make her, you know, all of, you know, I understand they want to do girl power and stuff like that, and that's great. But you know, if they want to do that, that's great for them. But do it in a subtle way. Okay, Star Wars was not about being sexist. Star Wars was about everyone having power. Everyone literally had power in that movie. The men, the women in the original trilogy, they were kick-butt people, each one with powers, and it was great. They didn't need to screw around with it. You wanted to make a couple of women powerhouses, go ahead and do it. But, you know, making men look stupid to try to build that just made it so stupid. And they were really trying to push that on the second one, and you could clearly see that. And now they have, in this third one, they probably told them, okay, guys, you're being too obvious. Let's make this a little different. Let's give the guys a pea brain, a brain the size of a pea, and maybe we'll make it work. And then they did, you know, they did this movie, and, you know, they try to correct it, and you just feel, when you're going to see it, you're going to be wowed and a little bit. Then you're going to get out and you're going to start thinking about all this critically. And you're going to start to see that they weren't really out to make a movie. They were out to correct and rectify an issue. That's what this movie felt like to me. Now, yes, it had some amazing elements. a good, you know, I'm not going to say great story, but okay story. It was good. It was, you know, I don't want to give too much away, but I'm just going to say it was good for the trilogy, this trilogy. But I'm still going to say that it felt like they were trying to fix the issues, and they concentrated more on fixing the issue than actually, you know, making a great story. And telling a great story, which is what, and this is what happens with Disney. A lot of their directors, you know, they do what they tell them. They stick to the script. But the thing is, a director is a storyteller. However you slice it, that's what directors are. And if you don't let this director, let's say you hire this guy, and you have every right to say, well, you know what, he's not for me. I don't want him telling my story. I don't like his vision. Now that's your, if you're, you know, paying for it, go ahead and do that. Disney's a huge organization. But Disney completely destroyed an entire saga. And, you know, J.J. Abrams, you know, sellout or not, I know he could have not liked this trilogy. I know that he was working under immense pressure, but he wanted this. He needed, you know, he needs money. You know, you need the money. No matter how much millions these guys make, they always want more, and that's fine. That's, you know, that's whoever's nature is whoever's nature. I really don't care. But the thing is, you could clearly see that he was working under immense stress, like under the worst stress you could ever imagine, to try to fix this poop. Because after all, when everything's said and done, your name is behind this product. And you could see what happened to the actor who played as Anakin. It completely ruined his entire film career. That's what he said. So even as an actor, this could ruin your entire career. And, you know, in the end of the day, it's your name behind it. And he really worked hard to make this what it was. And you could clearly see, and I give him lots of props for that, lots of street cred to my boy JJ. He did a good job trying to repair it, but you could literally see that Disney had their boot down his throat. And every aspect you could freaking think of. And you could tell that with that, he tried to fix everything. But literally, that's what the movie was about. You will get the impression that it was a checklist that they were making to try to fix the damn movie. That's it. That's what I got to say about it. Let me know what you guys think. As always, self-funded here. This is independent reviews. We don't tell you here things are good when it's not. We tell you the absolute truth. And down in the comments below, what I call forums, is where we all give back. This is why I opened this channel in the first place, so people won't have to sift through garbage and, you know, from these paid-for idiots, that we could actually all together give honest opinions. So this is, you know, me giving back to the community and you giving back to the community by joining the family, joining the community, and commenting down in what I call the forums. I want to know what you guys thought about this movie. I want to know what's your take on it. Again, this is my take. So if you guys loved it or whatever, I want to hear about it, because this is just my take on it. I'm an old Star Wars fan, old school Star Wars fan. You know, I follow Star Wars to this day. I have lightsabers. I do 3D printing of, I did every mask you could ever think of. I did Mandalorian masks, all kinds of cool, crazy stuff. Maybe I'll do a giveaway for a Mandalorian. I do like that show, even though it's a little bit also. But it's a funny show to see. It's a great, you know, I would say it's a good show to check out. Some overacting a little bit, you're gonna notice, and blah blah blah, whatever. If Kylo Ren just didn't take off his mask, I think it would have been just that much better of a movie. But whatever. It's not really his fault. It's the whole movie is just one big poop fest. And even if he was the Kylo that I wanted him to be, based on, you know, how he was supposed to be, it would not save this movie, this trilogy, not one bit, not one iota. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. So I do recommend it overall to go see it. I do think that you guys should see this movie and definitely give your take. Either way, you're not going to be disappointed with this one. You're just going to say it's better than the other two, but you're not going to expect much from this. In fact, this one, I believe, did less than Force Awakens, but that it makes sense, because Force Awakens, everybody was expecting something big, and you know, from the next Star Wars movie, and they went to see it, and of course they were disappointed. The second one was an absolute poop fest, but people, I guess, maybe had a little bit of hope. The New Hope. They had hope for the movie to do good. And then, of course, this one, at this point, they just expected it to be poop, and I don't think many people want to go see it on opening day. They didn't really care. But it's still doing well. And, you know, I think that people should go see it right now, just like I did. I didn't go on opening day. I went to see it now. And that's all I got to say about that. Let me know down below what you guys think. As always, if you like what you see, like, subscribe, hit that bell button. There's many more videos to come. I'm actually working on a TIE fighter drone right now, believe it or not. So that's going to be a little bit cool. I'm going to do probably a step-by-step toot from the 3D printer, how I printed. Maybe I'll do a give. I don't know if I could do a giveaway on that, because I'm not, you have to regulate electric parts, so I don't think I'm going to do that. I'll probably just stick to helmets from now on, give helmets and stuff, and I'll look into if I could give away droids. I just don't want to get sued, you get me? Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye. As always, guys, if you like what you see, self-funded here, be sure to check out all my other stuff, from mini-series to unboxings to technology, you know, and Nintendo reviews and 3D printer reviews and all that good stuff. If you like what you see, the only way you can help the channel is by liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell button. As many more cool videos to come. Definitely want you guys in it, and I want you guys to be vocal. Definitely comment down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.